Hello, Jacksonites. Pardon the long, well, not really long, but the absence of a couple weeks. To be honest, the last video just took a lot out of me, and I kind of didn't really have any backup plans for what I was gonna do after that. I was just so focused on getting the ranking of the DCEU, I wasn't really thinking ahead. So I kind of flipped and flopped and floundered for a little while, figuring out what the fuck am I gonna do next. But I figured this would be a nice topic to cover. And yes, speaking of which, I have a Blue Beetle shirt that I got for Christmas. I think no, it was right before Christmas, but yeah. I mean, I may not like the movie all that much, but this is a bitchin' shirt. I love the '80s aesthetic. Yeah, pretty nice mix of blue and pink. Um, yeah, okay, so I know that I've done TV and movie collection videos before, but for one reason or another, I was just never really happy with those videos. And I've been always meaning to do because Jackie Boy has, or at least he had. I don't think he's done a installment in this series for a long time, but I think it's called pickup vlogs where he shares the movies or TV shows that he's acquired as of late. And I've always been meaning to do something like that. I did do it for a little while back when I would do videos on my phone. They were called collection vlogs, but those were just a little too inconsistent, and I never really had enough to show for it to be a consistent series. It's kind of the same case here, but hopefully, because once I get this new movie collection video series done, I'll be able to keep more track of what I have accumulated over time after that and do a little bit more of a like collection vlog series. Wouldn't be super regular, maybe at the very most 3 or 4 videos a year, but still. I have acquired a lot of new movies and TV shows since I did my last movie collection video series when I was still recovering from a nasty cold. That was another reason why I got rid of those videos. I don't like watching myself go off and on camera just to blow my nose. That drives me insane. It's embarrassing. But yes, today I'm going to start off by doing a TV show collection video, but I'm also going to showcase my comic book collection. Recently, within the last like 6 months or so, I've decided, well, not 6 months, but like even more so in the last 6 months, I've decided I want to get into buying some comic books. I'm being very selective with the comics that I get because collecting comic books can be dangerous. If Lord Hellhound was here, he would know exactly what I'm talking about. But I have a stack about this tall, just of more so graphic novels, but still, yeah, I just have a stack here. I'm going to go through the comics first because I only have a few, and I have a stack of TV shows here, and then I have my two big books of TV shows. I do not have any of my Ultraman Blu-rays in here because those are in a special custom display. But you guys kind of already know that I have all the Ultraman Blu-rays, so that's not a huge thing to miss out on. But if I can, I'll have to show that off in a or not show off. I don't like the term show off. It sounds condescending, but I'll have to show you guys what that looks like at a later date. I did try at one point because I have a new display that I store my comics and my TV shows in out in my living room, but I was trying to do a stream video on my phone, but for some reason it just wouldn't work. So I have to resort to holding the things on my lap here, including these two big books. So it's going to be a little awkward. So please bear with me. But hopefully this will still be a fun time. And without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? First off, yeah, this is the one manga that I own. Never been a big fan of manga, but I had to get my hands on this because I wasn't going to be getting this anywhere else, and especially for how much it was and for the special occasion that it's celebrating. I have here the entire 50th anniversary edition of the original Kamen Rider manga from 1971. Yeah. Fans the world over have long been enthralled by tales of Kamen Rider, the masked motorcycle riding superhero who protects the world from injustice. Kidnapped and experimented upon by the evil terrorist organization known as Shocker, Hongo Takeshi manages to escape their clutches and uses his newfound strength to fight against their schemes. These are the first adventures in a legacy that spans dozens of television series and films, drawn and written by series creator and manga superstar Shotaro Ishinomori, commemorating the 50th anniversary of the classic 1971 publication. This collection is the first hardcover edition of Kamen Rider in English. It features the original Kamen Rider manga series, plus special bonus materials and full color inserts. Very brief full color inserts. Let's see. Yeah, only this much. Oh, it's kind of hard to see, but only this much of the entire manga. Like, you see this thing? This is a phone book. This is a fucking phone book. And only this much is in color. It's a shame too, because the color is quite striking, but then the rest of all this is in black and white, which I think kind of sucks. But whatever. Um, yeah, this manga style is very 70s. That's for damn sure. Oh, Horror and Metal is here. Yo, Horror and Metal channel. I have not finished this all the way through because it's so good. I don't want it to end. And this is a unique, one of a kind um, specimen of Kamen Rider, and it's. I do believe, yeah, there was more Kamen Rider manga that were made, but many of them are unobtainium, unfortunately, because Toei are a bunch of assholes. But if you can get your hands on this manga, um, I believe it is still readily available. I picked this up for like $35. I mean, again, this is a thick. You could fucking whack somebody with this thing. This is a thick beast, but it's really good. It's definitely worth a read. These next two aren't comics; they're books. This one is an interesting specimen. Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again, by Shigeru Kayama, translated by Jeffrey Angels. Yeah, no, Angles, excuse me. Have not read this, but these are direct translations of the original screenplays made into novels of Gojira and Godzilla Raids Again. Let's see. At long last, the path-breaking novellas by Shigeru Kayama that launched the Godzilla franchise are available in English. It was well worth the wait. Jeffrey Angles' lively translation captures all the action, emotion, and political edge of the original Japanese texts. This engaging volume will be a revelation for Godzilla fans and a rewarding read for anyone who enjoys classic tales of science fiction and adventure. Quote unquote, from William M. Tsutsui, author of Godzilla on My Mind, 50 Years of the King of the Monsters. I have read that book, actually. It's quite interesting. Quote, the contributions of Shigeru Kayama to the Godzilla film franchise have long been overlooked in the West. Jeffrey Angles' translation of Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again along with his afterword with a biographical sketch of the writer, correct this long-standing oversight. An invaluable addition to the history of Japanese science fiction cinema and literature, off quote. By Steve Reifel, co-author of Ishiro Honda, A Life in Film from Godzilla to Kurosawa. Um, you know what? Actually, if you guys would be interested in me reading this on camera, comment down below or comment in the chat if you'd like to hear me read this as a video, because I'd be down for that. It's not very long. It's only 233 pages. So, oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Not counting the glossary or the notes here. Okay, so it's just under 200 pages, I think. But yeah, if you guys want me to read this on camera, let me know. I've already shown this before, but and I mean to get back to this, but Star Wars Path of Destruction, the first part of the Darth Bane trilogy. Admittedly, guys, I didn't really want to go back to reading this because right after I did that video was when the Star Wars fan base killed my interest in Star Wars. So that's why I never came back to this. But if by any chance there's still there might be some interest in me redoing or not redoing, but resuming my read through of this, let me down in the comments. I'd be down. Never actually read the whole thing. You'll be hearing me say that a lot. I either haven't read it or I haven't finished it throughout all this video for my books and TV shows. I got this from Meadow for Christmas. Godzilla, Monsters, and Protectors. All hail the king. This comic's tiny. This is the one that features King Caesar and Godzilla taking on King Ghidorah. Haven't read this. I think it's part of a series, and I don't like reading comics that are like out of order if they're in a series. So I'll have to look into this and get the rest of the series and read them. Yeah, I like the artwork. It's hold up. Let me find a good one. Yeah, I like the artwork. It's kind of cartoony. Sorry, the glare is really bad on these. But I'd say it's pretty aesthetically pleasing. It's well done. Yeah, I haven't read this yet. Meadow also got me this for Christmas. Or no, this one was a Christmas present, and this was a Valentine's Day present, I think. Yeah, she got me this for Christmas. Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Have not read this, but only because there's a sequel coming out next month, and I'm gonna wait until that whole series has been collected in one series, like this thing here, and I'm gonna do a double feature of reading that. This was put out by Boom Studios and IDW. The guy who did the artwork worked on Batman / Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and He-Man and / Thundercats. I can get behind that as a crossover. He-Man and Thundercats? Hell yeah. I've never actually seen He-Man or Thundercats, but still, that's cool. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I've like glanced at the artwork. The artwork is fucking phenomenal. Or okay, it's more phenomenal. But yeah, look at this shit. Gigan versus the Megazord. That's cool. It's got a decent variety of Power Rangers villains. I think there's Rita Repulsa. She teams up with the Zillions from Godzilla versus Monster Zero. And I think there's also not Trakina, but what the hell's, or maybe it was Trakina? No, I think it's just Rita. But there's a lot of oh wait, hang on. What the hell is her name? No, I think it was Trakina from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, because there's a lot of insect Godzilla kaiju in this. Like here you can see here. Kamacuras here and Megaguirus right there. And I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see. I'm in a little bit of an awkward angle, but yeah, haven't read much of this. But yeah, the artwork is just fucking more phenomenal. Bitchin'. It looks really good. Even this, like, that should be a poster, straight up. I would totally get this as a poster. Next, we have Godzilla Rulers of Earth Volume 1 and Godzilla Rulers of Earth Volume 2. Have not read all of Volume 2. I glanced at it, but I have read most of Volume 1. These might be my favorite Godzilla comics of like the entire history of Godzilla comics. The artwork by Matt Frank is just fucking spectacular. All the monsters in these comics look so fucking great. It's a shame that I would love to see these comics get made into an animated series. I think it would make for a really, really good show. Be a better Godzilla animated series than anything. As much as I love the 1998 Godzilla the animated series, these comics made into an animated show would be some of the best Godzilla content of the whole franchise. But still, the comics are really good. Oh, you got the single editions of Rulers of Earth. Oh, that's bad. That's ass. These are pretty inexpensive. I got them for about $28 a piece, and they're also kind of thick, if you couldn't tell. So I'd say that's pretty worth it. Yeah, artwork in these comics are just outstanding. Let's see, where's a big? Oh, hang on. So yeah, look at that. So many panels in this could just be posters. That's bitchin'. Even the covers should be posters. Then we have my Monsterverse comics. I have the first volume of the Monsterverse Titanthology. This one has, well, hang on, I can just look at the back. This one has Godzilla Aftershock and Skull Island: The Birth of Kong. Godzilla Aftershock serves as a sequel to 2014 and a prequel to King of the Monsters. And Skull Island: Birth of Kong acts as a sequel / prequel to Kong Skull Island, but also as a prequel to Godzilla 2014. Both of these comics are really, really good. The artwork by, the artists, I should say, are also really solid. Okay, the first one they show is Skull Island: Birth of Kong, and then there's a really good shot of Kong. Oh, hang on, this one here. This should be made into a poster. This is the War of the Kongs versus Skull Crawlers. This is fucking badass. And let's see. There's a really good shot of Kong somewhere in here, I think. Oh, here we go. Kong versus the Mama Longlegs, I think they're called. I've only read these once. I blew through them within the snap of a finger. I'm a fast reader, so that's another reason why it's hard for me to want to read comics because I enjoy it so much. I just breeze right through it, and then it's done and over with. Where is it? Where is it? I want to show this off. Come on. Okay, hold up. Oh, here we are. That's fucking cool. Hopefully, we can see something similar to this attack in a future MonsterVerse movie. Even though I guess it's kind of like a one-off, but still. Um, yes, I do eagerly await the release of Godzilla X Kong. Come on now. Pardon Roman, you can probably hear him flipping and flopping. Next up, we have Kingdom Kong. This was part one of two prequel comics to Godzilla versus Kong. This one has Kong fighting off a giant bat titan called Chemazats, which is this one's good though. This might be my least favorite because this, as good as the artwork is and as entertaining as it is, this kind of feels the most sort of fillery for all the MonsterVerse comics, but it's still good. Just kind of meh. Um, by the way, no, I do not have Godzilla Awakening. There is a MonsterVerse comic omnibus that I think is coming out later this year. It's like $100, but I think I might get my hands on that. That includes like the new Godzilla versus Kong comic. I think it's called The Hunted, as well as Godzilla Awakening, all in one big set. So I might want to get my hands on that and maybe give these to my cousin if he likes comics. And then finally, we have Godzilla Dominion. This is my favorite MonsterVerse comic. There's little to. Yeah, there's very little human interaction between the monsters in this. It's just all from Godzilla's perspective going around the world fighting titans and restoring balance to the planet. I want this to be made into a movie, like a full-on 2-hour long movie. This is awesome. It's just pure monster action. All there is some narration, and that's it. This is awesome. Very entertaining. Very well written and very well drawn. Like that. This is fucking badass. Apparently, this Titan, Tiamat, will apparently be making a appearance in Godzilla X Kong, so that'd be cool. That'd probably be the really first time that, in a way, the MonsterVerse movies will be acknowledging the MonsterVerse comics. So that would be really awesome if that's true. I also have to crack open the sponsor. Peaches and cream flavored drink, carbonated drink. That's good. Next, we have the first volume of Avatar: The High Ground. Meadow got me this for Christmas as well. Again, haven't read it. This is part one of 3, and I want to wait till I have all 3 to read all these. There's a surprising amount of Avatar comics, which that's like good news for me because anything to explore the Avatar lore, I want to get my hands on. But the artwork in this is really, really solid. It's very spot on to the movies. Very well done. Yeah, I like it. Like it a lot. Although there's a lot of blue, as you can see. But that's okay. Blue is my favorite color, as you can probably tell. Next, we have The Rise of Ultraman. This is the first volume of the Marvel Ultraman comic series. The next being the Trials of Ultraman, and then after that, there's the Trials of Ultra 7. Um, but again, haven't read this. I did, excuse me, glance at the artwork, and it's pretty awesome. Like, even just like the first page here, that's awesome. That's totally badass. You can tell the artist is a big Ultraman fan. Um, I was a bit concerned when I found out that Marvel was going to be teaming up with Ultraman, but upon seeing this, they stayed pretty faithful to the original Ultraman series. All the monsters look really solid. Like, there's Bemular from the first episode of Ultraman. Still looks like a fucking pipe cleaner, but he looks spot on. Yeah. Artwork is really good. I'm gonna wait till I have the other volumes to go through this series, but yeah, like it. Next, we have, oh damn, this next one I'm gonna have to censor. Fuck. That's okay though. Next up, we have Night of the Living Dead. This is, I believe, part one of like a kind of two-part storyline. There's Night of the Living Dead, and then there's Escape of the Living Dead, which acts as its own self-contained sequel to the original Night of the Living Dead film. In this one here, all 8 issues of the fully authorized series of color comics are included here, along with a horrific cover gallery. This is the story everyone was dying to see. A prequel to the original film from the original creator and script co-writer John Russo. Written by Russo himself and Mike Wolfer. This is the horror series of the decade from the men who defined the horror genre. This sucked. I did not like this at all. It's not a fun read whatsoever. The artwork is pretty solid. Um, and it is fairly gory. Um, Jesus Christ. Oh, nope, I can't show that. There's tits galore in this comic. Let's see. Oh, Jesus. That's messed up. Oh, that's so messed up. There's some very unpleasant imagery in this comic that I'm just, yeah, not a fan of. It has to do with violence against children, which is very unsettling for me. Yeah, just if you're a fan of the movie, maybe it can provide some new context for the film, but I was not a fan of this. I was disappointed. Shit. This is the one I'm gonna have to censor. How am I gonna do this? Um I, I guess like this. Um this is Zombie Tramp Year 1, a collection of the first, what is it? I'm not sure, but the first, I think, 10 issues of the Zombie Tramp series. I highly recommend this series. I have to censor it because she's nude behind my hands here, but um this series is very violent and over the top in a very cartoony fashion, in a very entertaining fashion, in my opinion. She is a zombie who was a lady of the night, we'll say, in Las Vegas, but she got turned into a zombie against her will, and she got her hands on the Necronomicon. She's able to regain her sentience as a zombie, and she keeps the Necronomicon and recites its various incantations and goes on a little bit of a rampage across the U.S. countryside. battling other zombies and supernatural forces as she goes along. It's quite entertaining. And as you can see from this big giant pile of guts that she's sitting on here, and also this here too, she fucks up a lot of shit along the way. Um yeah, I'd highly recommend this series. It's very violent, it's very over the top, and there's tons of TNA. Sounds like a good time. Not to sound perverted, but still. The last two comics here. This was a gift from Meadow for Valentine's Day. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Ultimate Collection, Volume 1. The OG Ninja Turtles comics. This includes issues 1 through 7, as well as the Raphael one-shot included in this. Sadly, this is in black and white, unfortunately. I know there exists colorized editions of the OG Ninja Turtles comics, and Meadow didn't realize this because she thought it was in color too. But yeah, this is in black and white, unfortunately. But still, I'm going to wait until I have volume 2 to read this, but this looks very entertaining. I've always been meaning to get my hands on the OG Ninja Turtles comics. And the last comic that we have here is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. This was essentially the Old Man Logan type storyline for the Ninja Turtles. It features the last surviving Ninja Turtle in a dystopian future avenging the deaths of his family. It's quite violent and brutal, and even though it's technically not in continuity with the original Turtles comics from the 80s, I kind of count this as a spiritual successor to the original comics. Especially since there's some sections here. Oh, here we go. There's some sections that are drawn in a very similar art style to the original Ninja Turtles comics. So to me, in my head canon, this is in continuity with the original Turtles comics. Fuck it, I don't care. And that's it. That's all my comics. Obviously not the largest selection of comics, but again, I try to be very conservative and picky with the comics that I purchase because again, that's a very dangerous thing to collect. Alrighty, here we have TV shows that I have not unpacked or that I have not sorted away because it's kind of a pain in the ass. Here we have the complete Lucifer set, the loose adaptation of the Neil Gaiman Sandman / Lucifer comic series from DC. This was on the CW for a little bit, and then Netflix got their hands on it. I got this entire series for like $22 on sale. I think originally it was 60 or 70. Fun series. It's kind of similar to iZombie, where instead of a zombie who helps solve murders, it's the devil himself. I'm down. I've seen the first season and half of season 2, but for some reason it just keeps escaping me. But now I have no excuse. We have Tales from the Crypt. I adore this show. That's my imitation of Lord Hellhound. If he's still here, he's probably screaming to the heavens right now. Yeah, all 7 seasons of Tales from the Crypt. I went on a bit of an anthology horror series kick for a while, and I've actually, well, I mean that's changed now, but before a couple weeks ago, I'd never seen a single episode of Tales from the Crypt. And if you want horror anthology shows, aside from American Horror Story now and Goosebumps Tales from the Crypt is like the ultimate OG. So, yeah, it looks really funny. It looks really fun. I've watched 3 episodes of the whole show so far. I watched the first one. I watched and All Through the House and The Switch. Arnold Schwarzenegger directed that episode and actually appeared alongside the Crypt Keeper. What's the matter with you? Keep pumping, and I'll tell the story. um, yeah, all 7 seasons, all 90 something episodes, I think. Yeah, about 92. Thankfully, it is all uncensored, which is the only way to watch Tales from the Crypt. Next, we have kind of its spiritual predecessor and precursor, Tales from the Dark Side, the complete series, all 4 seasons. I've watched 2 episodes of this. It's 80s as fuck, but you know what? I kind of like that about it. The first one, titled Trick or Treat, I thought was pretty good. It's again very early 80s and kind of cheesy, but entertaining. And then there was The New Man, which I was not really a fan of. I know Tales from the Dark Side. Well, this is usually the case with all anthology shows. They are very hit or miss. But from what I've heard, Lord Hellhound is also a big fan of this show. And even he says that it's really hit or miss. So I'm not as excited to watch Tales from the Dark Side, but still, I'm sure I can get into it. Thankfully, both Dark Side and Crypt are very easy shows to watch. The episodes for each show are about 22 minutes, so that's not a bad thing. And both shows are about the same, about 90 something episodes apiece. And next we have, I went on a little bit of a Walking Dead kick. First up, we have the first season of Walking Dead World Beyond. I love the colors on this front here. This was the third show in the Walking Dead franchise. This was only a 2-season series. They intentionally made it to be only 2 seasons with 10 episodes apiece. I'm fine with that as long as it's good. I haven't heard much about this series, but from what I've read and the little bit that I've seen, it does look quite promising. I watched the first episode late 2022 when I went on vacation, where I gave myself a challenge. All the shows that I had previously owned but still haven't seen, I gave myself a challenge to watch either the first episode or the first 2 episodes if they're two-parters, just to kind of thin out all the stuff that if it grabs my attention, I'll keep it. If not, I'll toss it. Next we have The Walking Dead Dead City season 1. Again, I think this is only going to be a 2-season series because I heard originally it was supposed to be just a 12-episode miniseries, but because of the SAG strikes, this got cut in half. But I watched the first episode. It looks promising. Maggie and Negan have to form a very tenuous alliance in a zombie-infested Manhattan. So it sounds interesting. One of my supervisors at work is a huge, huge fan of The Walking Dead, and he tells me Dead City was pretty entertaining. Next, we have Tales of the Walking Dead. This is an anthology series set in the Walking Dead universe. By the way, Dead City was the first sequel series to The Walking Dead. I think this came out right at no. Oh no, this came out before Dead City, but yeah, Tales or not Tales. Dead City is the first sequel. This is just set in the universe because yeah, this is the anthology series. 6 episodes, 6 different stories, and yes, one of them has Terry Crews in it. That's the first episode. It was actually pretty solid. I'm not much of a Terry Crews fan. I've always thought he was kind of a little bit of a weirdo in anything he was in, but he was very strong in this first episode. So yeah, this looks promising. And finally, we have the one that I'm really the most interested in, as is I'm sure a lot of other people, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Daryl escapes Commonwealth at the end of season 11 of The Walking Dead, and Daryl ends up washing ashore in France, where the zombie virus had apparently originated in. Haven't seen this one yet. Again, that same supervisor at work, he told me this was pretty entertaining. So, and I trust his word. So, yeah, looks promising. Daryl's one of my favorite characters in The Walking Dead. I know that's a common thing to say, but it's true. Alrighty, so now things are going to be getting a little bit awkward, so bear with me. First up, maybe I should scoop this back just a little ways. I think that's a bit better. Again, you're going to be hearing me say, haven't seen it. Okay, this is the one where I keep most of my big shows. So again, bear with me. Okay. First up, we have. Oh, hold up. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold this. We have all 12 seasons. Yes, 12 seasons of Bones. I got this for my birthday last year. I've only seen the first season, but I loved it. This is I had a really big phase where I was watching a lot of cop shows and police procedural shows last year. And this is the one that really resonated with me the most. This show is quite gruesome for a cable TV series, but it's also really funny, and it has a really good team dynamic. And Emily Deschanel, the actress who plays Bones, does a great job as the main character. And yeah, 12 seasons, 246 episodes. It'll take me years to watch this show, sadly, because I'm really bad at watching shows. Oh, here's left. And then we have all 7 seasons of True Blood. Yeah, all 7 seasons. Only watched the first season. It's promising. There's a lot of fucking in it. The character of Lafayette is one of my favorites of the whole show. May the actor who played him rest in peace. Excuse me, who ordered the hamburger with AIDS? I love Lafayette. It is also, it's kind of funny how this show came out. Well, I mean, technically the books. Well, no. Yeah, True Blood is based on a series of novels called the Sookie Stackhouse Chronicles. God, that name, Sookie Stackhouse. That just rolls right off your tongue. I don't know when those came out. If Lord Hellhound was still here, he would tell me because he's read those books. But yeah, True Blood's based on a book series too. But the way that at least the first episode or the first few episodes are structured, it's very similar to Twilight. And the show came out only 1 year, started in 2007 before Twilight. So coincidence? I have heard that True Blood apparently really falls off pretty badly in the last couple seasons, and season 7 in particular. Like if you see like a Watch Mojo video and you see top 10 worst series finales in the last 10 years, 10 or 15 years, True Blood's always brought up. It's in like the top 3 alongside Dexter and Game of Thrones. Yeah, True Blood looks promising. It's very bloody. Oh, here we go. Next show. The complete 1978 Incredible Hulk show with Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby. I've seen the whole show. I finished this when Roman was first born. Season 5. Well, hang on. Season 1's really good. Season 2 is really good. Season 3 is good, but starting to show signs of not wear and tear, but at that point the formula is getting very repetitive. Season 4 is mostly about the same up until you get to the two-parter called The First, parts 1 and 2, which was the only time where the Incredible Hulk fought another Hulk-like creature. And those 2 episodes are so good. After that, the show never reached that level of awesome. Like, there's a couple decent ones, but especially like with season 5, it being only 7 episodes long, if that's why the show got canceled because it sucked, I believe it. Then we have Justified, the complete series. I've seen the first 4 seasons. I like season 1. I really like season 2. I really like season 3. And season 4 was good, but I think it kind of dragged towards the end. And I've heard kind of the same things regarding season 5. So that has me a little bit nervous. But I heard season 6 is quite good. But yeah, I like Justified. Again, part of my whole cop show phase, but it's a good one. Sons of Anarchy, seasons 1 through 7, the whole show. Fucking bloodbath of a show. Right, honey? Me and Meadow watched the entirety of Sons of Anarchy together. We binged all 7 seasons over the course of a few weeks, and it has one of the most gut-wrenching finales I've ever seen in any TV show in my entire life. I would say it's bad, but it's only bad because I wish that the main character didn't die. Spoiler alert. Then next we have the first 9 seasons of 2.5 Men. I need to get a new copy for season 1. Yep, season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I haven't watched 2.5 Men since 2019. Season 1's decent. Season 2 is really good. Season 3 is really good. Season 4 is probably as good as season 1. It's just kind of okay. Season 5 is mixed for me because, like, no, I'll probably say season 5 is my least favorite. That one was also cut short because of a writer's strike, but it just wasn't that funny or entertaining, in my opinion. Season 6 was good. That's when I jumped on the bandwagon originally when 2.5 Men was airing. Season 7 was really good, and season 8 was, despite all the issues that Charlie Sheen was going through behind the scenes on set, season 8's probably my favorite season. And season 9, when I first watched it, I kind of hated it because Charlie Sheen was off the show. But in 2017, I did a gargantuan binge of the first 8 seasons of 2.5 Men. And then once season 9 rolled around, it actually did breathe some new life into the show. I still have not seen seasons 10, 11, or 12. I did watch the finale when it aired, and I liked the Arnold Schwarzenegger cameo, but outside of that, I was pretty disappointed. Desperate Housewives. Yes, I unabashedly love Desperate Housewives. All 8 seasons. Another show that me and Meadow watched. I've mentioned before how Meadow got me into Stranger Things, and then as a result, I got her into Desperate Housewives, which my mother got me into. All 8 seasons. Season 1's really good. Season 2, a lot of people shit on, but I still think it's pretty solid. Season 3 is also really good. Season 4 is probably my favorite season of the whole show. Season 5 is good, but I think it was just a bit too long. Well, it's a standard length, but there were some moments where it felt like it was kind of stretched out. Season 6 is really good. It's probably my second favorite season of the show. Season 7 is a lot better than I initially thought it was when I first watched the show. But it was at this point originally, like back in 2015 or so, when I was watching this, where I just kind of gave up. And there's a lot of decisions that were made later on that I was just not feeling. But season 7's the last good season. And then the dreaded season 8, which is one of the worst final seasons for any show I've ever fucking seen. This one sucked ass. Very sad, very mean-spirited, very boring and uneventful, and just very unsatisfying. Star Wars The Clone Wars, my all-time favorite TV show. I've only seen the first 5 seasons. I have not seen The Lost Missions, which was kind of like a half of an extra season, and I haven't seen the actual 7th season on Disney Plus. I have seen the Ahsoka Tano versus Darth Maul fight scene though. That was really good. But yeah, the first 5 seasons of TCW is pretty awesome. Seasons 1 and 2 of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, it sucks. Do not like this show at all. The complete Teen Titans series, the 2003 animated series. I got that for my birthday last year. Transformers Armada. This was my generation of Transformers growing up. I watched the first few episodes. It is just as I remember it. Yep. Superman, the animated series. This is a great, great, great show. Great animation, great fight scenes, great adaptation to Superman. Great music. If you're a Superman fan, this is where it's at. For shows, that is. Justice League, the animated series. This is actually a combo of Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. This book is gouging out the fuck out of my wrist, so hopefully this goes by soon. I saw the first season of Justice League after Kevin Conroy died. I binged that as a tribute to Kevin Conroy, as well as playing the Batman Arkham games as my tribute to Kevin Conroy. Batman Beyond. This used to be my favorite DC animated show. Now that no, that's Superman the animated series. Yeah, but Batman Beyond still really good. Season 1 is phenomenal. Season 2, for the most part, is like almost as good as the first season, but it kind of fizzles out a little bit towards the end of it. Still enjoyable. And season 3 is just kind of meh. It's got some moments that are good, but it lacks an ending, which sucks. Seasons 1 and 2 of the 2019 Harley Quinn animated show. Very entertaining series. The first season's really, really good. It's very fresh and original. Season 2 is good, but I think it has a little bit too much like meta social commentary for the DC fan base, which a lot of it's true, but I don't give a shit about that. I just want to see Harley Quinn go around and fuck everybody up. But I was not really a fan of Harley and Ivy bumping uglies towards the end of it. Still though, entertaining series. Well, I'll talk about that later. Mazinger Z, the complete series. This here is volume 1, and this here is the rest of volume 2, along with the original Devilman anime, which is kind of in continuity with Mazinger Z. Then we have Great Mazinger, the sequel to Mazinger Z. We have Combattler V, which is a very Mazinger Z-esque super robot show that my friend Nate got me for my birthday a couple years ago. I watched the first 5 episodes. It's good. It's a 70s super robot anime. And then here we have Shin Tetsujin 28. whole series on Blu-ray. Watched the first 3 episodes of that, and I've never touched it since. I don't know why I still have this. Guyver, Bio Booster Armor, my all-time favorite anime. Great fucking series. If you can get your hands on it, definitely recommend doing so. Samurai Jack, I watched the whole thing back in late 2021, I believe. Phenomenal animated series. This definitely is on my new list of favorite TV shows. The first volume of the 2003 Star Wars Clone Wars micro series. I still don't have volume 2 because it's out of print and expensive. Mazin Kaiser, a 7-episode OVA in the Mazinger Z franchise. Spider-Man, the new animated series, which is criminally underrated and is kind of semi in canon with the Sam Raimi series, but I think it's miserably underappreciated. And next we have Godzilla, the animated series. Look forward to a review of this on Super Kaiju Binge. Oh god, the sadly doomed 2019 Swamp Thing show that got canceled after only the first fucking episode aired on DC Universe. Ugh. How did this get canceled after only one fucking episode? It was originally supposed to be a 13 episode season, then they cut it down to 10 episodes, and then when the show was released, it got canceled after only one fucking episode aired. So they aired the whole show, released it on DVD, and it's never been touched since. Fucking assholes. Where Doom Patrol and Titans each get 4 seasons, but Swamp Thing, nope. If Channel Nerdgasm was here, he'd be barking up the same tree as me. Then we have seasons 1 and 2 of The Boys. I watched the first episode of The Boys. I really liked what I saw, but I watched that during the peak of my anti-superhero phase. So I have to go back and watch that. But from what I've seen, The Boys is a pretty awesome series. It looks very violent. Peacemaker. Already talked about that. The Purge seasons, 1 and 2. Really good. Well, the first season of The Purge was pretty good. Second one's the weakest of the entire series, in my opinion. Like counting the movies, it's a snooze fest. Then we have seasons 1, 2, and 3 of the Lethal Weapon TV show. One of my favorite shows of all time. Season 1 is great. Season 2 is really good, except for the final episode. And season 3 is decent, but it's just not. It doesn't have the same charisma as the first 2 seasons, and a lot of the filmmakers and cast members were just fighting a losing battle with that show. But still, it's okay. We have season 1 of The Following. I went through another period where I was obsessed with serial killer movies like Seven and Frailty and Silence of the Lambs and so on and so forth. And this is a serial killer show where Kevin Bacon plays a retired FBI agent who goes to recapture a serial killer who kills his victims, inspired by the writings of Edgar Allan Poe. It was good, but then I found out that the second season apparently, like the first half of season 2, resolves storylines from season 1, and then it just kind of meandered for the rest of the season. And then season 3, Kevin Bacon was rendered like a co-star, and then the show got canceled. So that kind of killed any interest that I had in this. This one's missing a disc, but because me and Meadow are currently watching season 1 of Reacher, the Alan Ritchson Reacher show. Pretty awesome. Very entertaining. Very well made. Seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Lost Tapes. One of my favorite shows. And then iZombie, seasons 1, 2, and 3. To my knowledge, still to this day, seasons seasons 4 and 5 have still not been released on DVD. So that's a damn shame. That's even more. Oh, damn. I was squishing the shit out of my wrist. But that kind of just leads me to believe that, or like leads me to have a headcanon, even more so like the ending to season 3 of iZombie can sort of function as a finale for the whole show. But if I ever get back to reviewing iZombie, I'll talk about that at a later date. God damn, I squished the fuck out of my wrist. Thankfully, the second one's not nearly as heavy, partially because it's not as full. Ugh. Okay. Okay, yeah. Have a lot of my shorter shows in this one. Yeah, it's not full. It's only, well, it's like 2/3 full. Let's see. We have Walking with Prehistoric Beasts, the sequel to Walking with Dinosaurs. This is a really good little miniseries. Not quite as good as Walking with Dinosaurs, but still a really good little miniseries. Prehistoric Park, my favorite BBC dinosaur show. Nigel Marven's really entertaining. Then we have Chased by Dinosaurs, which is part. It came out before Prehistoric Park, so I think it's like a kind of a sequel to Walking with Dinosaurs, but before Walking with Beasts. We have Blue Planet, the documentary series, also from BBC. I think is it BBC? Yeah, BBC. Narrated by, I think, David Attenborough. Really, really good, very informative ocean documentary, along with Blue Planet 2, which is kind of a remake of the first Blue Planet, but it's very well shot. It's very colorful. Iron King, a Ultraman ripoff, but still campy and entertaining. Super Robot Red Baron, a not really an Ultraman ripoff, but it's done kind of that similar style. I call it more of a live action Mazinger Z, but great campy series. Kamen Rider Black on Blu-ray that I got for my birthday last year. Watch the first 5 episodes of it. It's classic Showa Kamen Rider. Although it's one that I'm not as big a fan of. By the way, pardon the glare that's reflecting off these. Hopefully it's not too bad. Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I watched the first 5 episodes of this one. If Trevor Boy was here, he'd be nerdgasming because that's one of his favorites. But I like the vibe of this show. It's like a militaristic Power Rangers series that it's a mix that I approve of. Then we have Power Rangers Time Force. I have seen all of Time Force. Time Force is a damn solid series. I've only seen a few. No, I've only seen 2 Power Rangers shows from beginning to end. But Time Force is awesome. The other one being this one here, Dino Thunder, Power Rangers Dino Thunder. I watched all of Dino Thunder after Jason David Frank died as my tribute to him. But Dino Thunder is also a really good one. Then we have Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. If I ever do review Power Rangers, I'm going to have some controversial opinions regarding Operation Overdrive. Then the last Power Rangers show that I have is Power Rangers RPM. I watched the first 5 episodes of this. RPM's pretty entertaining too. It's essentially Power Rangers meets Terminator. I like that. Then we have seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Stranger Things. Thank you to Meadow for getting me into Stranger Things. Season 1 is really good. Season 2 has moments, but I think that's the universally agreed weakest season of Stranger Things. Season 3 is a lot better than season 2. I'd probably put it on par with season 1, but I'd have to give it a rewatch because I saw it. I watched it only one time back when it aired back in 2019. And me and Meadow binged season 4 when it became fully available in 2022. And man, was that that was an experience. Of all the movies and shows that came out in 2022, that was the biggest highlight. Season 4 was phenomenal. Season 1 and 2 of Chucky. I've already talked about these 2 seasons. Season 1 is pretty bad, and season 2 is an improvement, but I still kind of think for what they're doing with these shows, they don't need to be shows. They could just be movies. They'd probably be better as movies. In terms of the series, I already talked about this. Season 1 of Hemlock Grove. Sadly, well, no, actually it's on Tubi, but okay, so I do have a way to watch that. Haven't watched Hemlock Grove in full. I watched the first 4 episodes of it, and then it just kept losing me. Justified City Primeval, the kind of Dexter New Blood-esque sequel series to Justified. I haven't watched it yet. Thankfully, the main character does not die, unlike in Dexter New Blood. Fuck Dexter New Blood. Tulsa King. I really like Tulsa King, surprisingly. Right, honey? Me and Meadow watched all of Tulsa King. I'm not much of a fan of mob stuff. I fucking despise the Godfather movies. I am not a fan of like Goodfellas or Casino. I just don't like mob stuff, and I fucking despise The Sopranos. But Tulsa King was pretty entertaining. I think mostly just because it's Stallone. RoboCop the series, have not watched it outside of the first 2 episodes. I liked what I saw, but I'm not. I'm thankful that I have this show finally now that it's available on DVD. This was expensive. This was like $55 when it came out. But I knew I had to get this. Is it on Blu-ray? Yeah, it's on Blu-ray. This will be a part of Super Cyborg Binge whenever I get back to that series. Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't know if I can review this. I really don't know if I can review Sarah Connor Chronicles because this show just sucks. I tried to rewatch it. I was really trying, but I gave up on the show at the exact same episode that I gave up on the first time I tried watching this. So I don't know if I can review this as part of Super Cyborg Binge, guys. It's really that bad. I just cannot get into this fucking show. Which is a shame because season 1 actually was a little better than I remembered it the first time I saw this, but season 2 is just such a snore. Maybe I'll give it another try. Sequest DSV, the complete series on Blu-ray. I got this for my birthday last year. Haven't watched it yet. But it looks fun. What the hell? Oh, here. Battlestar Galactica Season 1. This is part of the reboot series. Haven't watched it yet, but Lord Hellhound says it's pretty good. Resident Alien Seasons 1 and 2. I watched the first season, thought it was really good, and season 2 I haven't touched. Partially because it took so goddamn long to come out on DVD. Same for season 3. Season 3 already aired, I think, and it still's not on DVD. Ash vs. Evil Dead, seasons 1, 2, and 3. Already talked about that. The 2017 SWAT TV show with Shemar Moore, I think is how you pronounce his name. I watched the first 3 episodes of this, and I'm hooked. This SWAT show looks pretty entertaining. The original Battlestar Galactica, the complete series from 1978, all 25 episodes, I think. Again, haven't watched it. I get the feeling I'll probably like the reboot series a little more. Courage the Cowardly Dog. I think I'm going to try to review this show later on this year because this is Courage's 25th anniversary. It's an old dog. The complete Dead Zone series, all 6 seasons. I watched the very first episode. I really liked it, but I haven't gotten back to it. But it looks very promising. I am aware that sadly it was canceled and it ends on a cliffhanger. So, yeah, I got that to look forward to. Fuck me. The Last of Us season 1. I do eagerly await season 2, of course. Halo season 1. I know season 2 just started airing on Paramount Plus. I haven't watched it. I'm a huge fan of Halo, and the show looks quite promising. Terra Nova, the complete series, a show that looked really promising when it was on air. Humanity uses a time machine to leave a used up Earth to go 85 million years in the past to fight dinosaurs and use resources in Earth's past. Sounds cool, but it got canceled after one 13 episode series. Haven't seen it yet, though. I've heard it's good. Longmire, the complete series. Meadow got me this for Christmas last year. I watched the whole show at the beginning of 2023. Very good cop show. Very entertaining for the first 3 seasons. This is another Netflix show. The first 3 seasons were on ABC, and then it got canceled, and then Netflix picked up the show and gave it another 3 seasons. And they're good, but they're not as fresh as the first 3 seasons. They slowed the pace way the fuck down for the last 3 seasons of the show, especially for 5 and 6. The pacing was really bad. Still, great show. Witchblade, the complete series. This also got canceled after only 1 season because the main actress who played Witchblade herself, she was, I think, struggling with alcohol and drug problems during the show, so she had to get into some rehab and fix herself up, so the show had to be canceled, sadly. It looks really good, though. I'm not very familiar with Image Comics outside of Spawn and now Witchblade, but I've heard this is a good show. Season 3 of the Harley Quinn animated series. Me and Meadow watched the first 3 episodes. It looks quite promising. Creepshow, the new Creepshow series, season 1, season 2, season 3, and season 4. The first season was fairly solid for the most part. There's only each episode, there's only 6 episodes, but they have 2 segments each, so I count those as episodes. Again, as is the nature of anthology shows, they're kind of hit or miss. I like the vibe that this new Creepshow series has. Like you can tell, there's a lot of 80s horror fans and EC Comics fans working on the show. So I like that atmosphere and vibe, but still, as an anthology show, it's very hit or miss. Season 1, I'd say, was like a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. Haven't seen all of 2, and the first couple episodes of season 2 were kind of rough. I haven't seen any of 3, and I haven't seen any of 4. And I think this is the last one here. Yeah, all 4 seasons of The Strain, a pretty violent, bloody vampire show that came out in the wake of The Walking Dead, with Guillermo del Toro attached to it, based on the trilogy of novels co-written by Guillermo del Toro. So, oh wait, no, this isn't the last one. So, excuse me. I've heard The Strain's good. Haven't seen it yet, but I look forward to it. Meadow got me that for Christmas. Season 3 of The Boys, I got myself that. And finally, this is the last one here. We have Banshee seasons 1 and 2. The Cinemax cop backwoods R-rated Justified-esque type show starring the same guy who plays Homelander in The Boys. Pretty damn good. I watched the first season. God damn. Excuse me. And yeah, first season 1's really good. Haven't seen any season 2. Season 3 is kind of hard to find, and season 4 is impossible to find. So I'm gonna have to watch that on Max. Fuck. It doesn't help that back when they were available, Banshee is obscenely expensive. Alrighty. That's gonna be it for my comic book and TV show collection. The next part will be the beginning of my movie collection video series. Look forward to that. And as always, go out and post your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and share this video with your friends. And go out and watch some of your favorite shows, read your favorite comics, watch your favorite movies. Enjoy. And I will see you guys in the next video.